This is Fire Talk Radio Podcast, and you can check us out on firetalkradio.com. You can email us at firetalknetwork@gmail.com. You can send us a voicemail at 814-380-9820. You can always check us out live on YouTube and Rumble. Hit the like and subscribe button to find out when we go live, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting streaming platform. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Fire Talk Radio proudly brings to you episode 61. Tonight, we are going to talk about Pelosi wanting to exercise her house because of the demons. We want to let it make sense with Philadelphia Flyers sitting out for his beliefs, Ben Savage going into Congress, and Atlanta's on fire. And this and more on Fire Talk Radio.
I can only count to four. I can only count to four. I can only count to four. I can only count to. Hey everyone, welcome back. This is episode 61, I believe, of Fire Talk Radio, and I'm Jason. With me is a man who's trying to become Santa again, Ryan. The beard is coming back in.
It is. I forget the whiteness. I only have as a desk light on here, and literally you can't see it because my beard is now turning more white. It's fantastic.
So he is slowly merging into an actual Santa Claus. He thinks it's because of the white beard, but we all know it's because he begs for money outside of a Target.
No, I'm just fat. No, I mean, I have children, but the term "fuck them kids" has been said a few times here and there. But other than that, no. I mean, I'm really just hoping I don't set my face on fire for the rest of the year and let my face let it grow back out, which would be great.
Yeah, that's usually one of my goals in the day is not to set my face on fire. I don't have many goals, but that's one of them.
No. I mean, it's a goal in general. I learned my lesson, not doing that again. So all is well. So I did fix our beacons link. So if you ever check out the link in the bio from the show notes and everything, it has everything about us, our YouTube, our Twitter, our Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube page all in there. So you can click the link in the bio now and check us out there, but always come to firetalkradio.com and find us out where you can find us. And also check out Cassius Media. That link will also be in our bio. Check them out for any needs. If you want to do video editing, podcasting, any sort of social media maintenance, everything. They are very handy. Pretty good bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
So
yep, definitely.
But next week is going to be interesting. So tonight's going to be light. I will say it is light. So, but next week we have a special guest. Please come hang out with us in the chat. We have the infamous Sarah Shipwreck coming to join us next week. So I'm gonna be questioning her on her life choices and decisions in the podcasting world. Because why the fuck not? And then get her opinion on what happens during the week.
Which should be fun. She has a great show. You're able to watch it now that I'm currently working and have stuff going on during the day. I'm not able to watch the Nooners, but you watch them on either YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah, I usually catch them on YouTube. If I don't, I usually watch the replay sometime throughout the day. I'm pretty active in her chat room when they do the Nooners because I like to throw my 2 cents in there because I think we were talking about the one day we were talking about Illuminati, and I know that's a phrase we don't ever talk about. And I was like, yeah. I was like, Prince made talk glimpses because we were talking about music and Illuminati. And I was like, we all forget Prince did it like late 80s, early 90s. He made like subtle hints towards it. And the thing is with the Illuminati, like that whole conspiracy has been long gone on for generations. And then look at all what's going on now, and more things are coming out. People are more speaking about the unnamed group, which is the Illuminati, for that purpose. You do know, you want to know how to keep Jehovah's Witnesses from your home? You actually put the symbol of the Illuminati on your curb in front of your house.
Really?
Yes. I bullshit you not. We tested that theory like years ago. I completely forgot about it. And then I saw another stand-up comedian make jokes about it. And I was like, that's a very true statement, because they won't go near them. And Jehovah's Witnesses like to talk to everybody.
Yeah. I talked to them for a long time, and you try to like be nice and like, okay, I'm gonna go back in the house now, like leave. And they just keep talking and talking. Me, I'm such a nice person that I'm like, I can't like unpolitely stop a conversation. But eventually I'm just like, okay, you have now. Like,
So I gotta go.
yeah.
I
Like,
felt bad one time. I was interested in solar, so I put in an inquiry. But they sent a guy to my house, and they didn't tell me how long like their little fucking spiel was gonna be. And I was like, oh man, it's only like 10, 15 minutes. No, they were dedicated in an hour. I was like, no. He goes, why'd you sign up for the appointment then? I said, because I was under the assumption you were gonna come in, like, take a look at my roof, take a look, try to figure out what would be the best, get me it, and then leave, and then send me a full estimate with your spiel. No, you want to give me a whole fucking
yeah, I did the same thing. Unfortunately, I ended up making like a $40,000 bad decision. Well, it wasn't a bad decision because the solar's help, but I ended up buying the solar panels. And then this past October, I get letters that the company I bought from went bankrupt.
That's awesome.
So I'm like,
So what
oh,
does that?
great.
I was like, what does that mean for you though?
I don't know, because I mean, they already got paid because I had to take a loan out to pay them, and then I'm paying the loan back. So my loan is with the bank, not with them.
So like you can't get maintenance from them or anything. Everything
No,
goes
because they don't
bad, huh?
exist anymore.
Oh, that's just fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I mean, they're pushing this whole like change to electricity, and I'm like, I understand that. I said, why don't we fucking turn the nuclear plants back on? Because I got into a
Right. Well,
discussion.
see, that's the thing. No, you know what my area is doing? We
Hmm,
have two plants that service our whole area. One is a coal fire plant, the other is a natural gas.
coal
They're
fire
shut.
plants should be getting shut off, right?
Yeah, they're shutting off the coal fire plant, and they put a bunch of wind turbines up.
Oh,
That
you guys are gonna end
all
up
of the
like
people
Texas.
that I know that work on it are basically saying like, buy yourself one of them natural gas generators for your house, because they are expecting unintentional brownouts when they turn off that coal fire plant, which I believe is this summer. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh
So
shit.
it was like the European Union uh put nuclear power on the list of green energy.
Well, they
I'm
did
like,
that after the invasion of
Ukraine.
Ukraine, because they were getting all of their power from Russia.
Yeah.
They've
So
nothing changed for them. They just offsourced and said, we're good people because we went green, but they're still getting it. They just got it from Russia. And then Russia said, fuck you. We're cutting you off. And now they're like, what are we going to do? Oh, nuclear and natural gas is now green. That's how we'll justify it.
Yeah. So, but I mean, the United States has a handful of power plants that are off. Hell, Texas has the largest one that they can fucking support the whole state of Texas and most of the southeast of the United States off that one fucking plant. Turn it on. I mean, Pennsylvania has 3 Mile Island.
Look at
Turn it on.
Look at how stupid California is. They got rid of nuclear plants. They got rid of coal-fired plants. They want to go completely solar and wind, and now they're telling everybody to buy electric cars and charge their cars. They're already having brownouts without everybody having electric
And then
cars.
what they even said that they weren't going to be charging your car because their grid can't sustain it. And then the changes to the trucking industry
Yes.
out there. Kenmore, I saw a video. I gotta find. Hopefully, I can find it while we're talking. Kenmore made a full electric 18-wheeler for California, but they don't have the charging stations in the correct spots for it. I guess it's on a different charging, and it was broke down on Highway 90 on their main highway going north.
Like
And
the
I'm like,
101.
yeah, and I'm like, that's fantastic. I was like, and then you're gonna have basically you're gonna have diesel generator trucks,
yeah,
driving around with their plug up, and they're gonna sit there, burn diesel to charge this electric 18-wheeler.
Talk about a great investment opportunity. Just get yourself an old like Chevy truck, the old box kind, put a diesel generator in the back, and put word out like, hey, if your electric car is broke down, call me and we'll charge it.
Portable charger. Yeah, there we go. That'd be a big waste of my fucking time, but yeah, that'd be a lot of money. Oh, you need charge. It is going to be $20 a volt. What? And I don't take credit card. It is cash.
Cash only.
Cash only. I mean, credit card. I guess I'll have to figure out a way.
Have you seen? I've been seeing these pictures everywhere. It hasn't happened in my area yet. Of stores like I don't know if it's Walmart or it's other stores like big box stores like Walmart that now they've taken the self-checkout to the carts themselves, where you grab it and you scan it into the cart, throw it in a bag, and then when you're ready to check out, you just stick your credit card into the little thing on the card itself.
Yeah, Walmart Plus. If you do that, you can use, because Sam's Club, they're able to do that with their app. You're able to scan as you go, pay it, and then they'll scan the receipt off your phone, and then they'll check some of the items, and then on your way. Walmart Plus does the same. If you sign up for their service, some certain Walmarts, I know what the one by my house actually does do it, to where if you sign up, it's like a monthly fee, like $12 a month or something, but it allows you to scan and go. So you would have to bring your own bags in with you, right? You can scan, put them in, and then pay. And then you go up front, you scan the thing, it comes up on the register, you put your card in, and then you leave.
Yeah. So let me see here. Yeah, this is the craziest thing. I mean, I'm not sure if it's a good or a bad thing.
There's a massive lawsuit going on right now. Amazon does it with Whole Foods, where they have their own store where they'll actually charge you as you're putting shit in the cart.
Yeah, that's the way this is supposed to be. As you put it in, it runs under the scanner.
Yeah,
and scans it and charges you.
Yeah, that's an Amazon thing where they did with Whole Foods and Kroger, and where you stick it in, it knows it's in there already, and then when you leave, it like you have an account that you sign in.
Yeah,
I guess on the cart, and then it'll charge your card.
Yeah, because one of the ones that I was seeing, there's a couple. One is like the normal barcode scanner that you know actually hold it under, scan it
Yeah.
on the cart, and then throw it in. But the other one uses RFID tags.
Yes.
Let me play. This is from The Verge on this. So she's walking around. She's got this little computer thing on her cart, and this is the kind that scans. And it's got sensors inside the cart. It says that can do weights when it comes to vegetables. I guess it tracks you through the store too. That's kind of creepy.
My thing is, if they do this, they should have like a bags attached to the carts to
Right,
where
because
you
you
can
still
just
have to bag it yourself.
yeah, that's the problem. It's like you still have to bag it. My thing is like, oh, put the have like a thing where you can hook like go at the beginning, you put the bags on the cart, like, and then when you grab your shit, you throw it in the bag and all as you're going, and I can see that semi working a little bit better. I mean, it's not going to be the fully automated McDonald's, but
You know who really should do that? Although they pay their people really well. Like I know somebody that works for Aldi and told me they're never leaving. Like Aldi is awesome to them.
I know people who work for Aldi and it's a catch 22. I mean, yeah, they do great stuff, but also that's like sometimes like some of the policies are a little shady, and it's like
yeah, maybe.
it's like granted, yes, they're the I like it, the fact that they're allowing their associates to be able to sit at the register. I think that's great for them because I remember when I worked in retail, I was like, oh, you must stand the whole.
Oh yeah, I had the boss one time that it was one of those, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean.
Oh my
like,
God.
you know what? I've been here for 10 hours. I'm tired. Like, just
I don't miss my days of. See, I worked. I worked 5.5 years during the day at like between CVS, and God, I fucking hated that company near the end because they were looking a way to just cut costs, and they were going after my position there got phased out, which pissed me off. But then I went to nights. But when I worked at days, I was a photo lab supervisor.
I was just gonna say, were you the photo lab? Because I can see that getting phased out.
Where I worked at in Maryland, I was one of the last few, like the last like 50 people who were trained by actual Kodak themselves. Like we went to the facility in DC and got trained in actual film. So we were able to do every course of film on any of their fucking machines. I was like one of the best ones in the company. And I was like 19, so I took that to heart. I was like, yes, this is awesome. And the best thing about photo is like you get to see people's lives. You get to see what they do and everything. Well, then was the early 2000s. CVS bought a company called Eckert's. They had a shit ton of stores in Florida and up the whole East Coast. I got sent to Florida for 6 months. I had just got a promotion from a supervisor to a lab manager, so I was over of labs. I wasn't just over one. But before I did photo, I was their reset guy. I reset all the stores. I moved aisles. I did all the resets. Really fucking good at it. So went down, I did like 16 stores until I got to this 24-hour store. supervisor there and their other management are a fucking bunch of morons. To a point to where I ended up getting stuck there for 3 days. 3 fucking days. I went in Friday, didn't leave till Monday. I was so fucking pissed. But because I was being as responsible as possible, because I was like, this is my responsibility. I got to cover where people don't want to fucking show up to work. So I would do my shift. My replacement for the evening called out sick. So I, as the supervisor, I stayed. I stayed to cover his shift because we needed somebody there. And then the overnight didn't show up. The store had to stay open because it's 24 hours because we're right down the street from the hospital. If I left, that means the pharmacist had to leave. So I stayed for them. Did work for the morning. The morning supervisor got there, but it was my Saturday to be there, so I fucking stayed for my shift again. I've only clocked out I think for 30-minute increments here and there for my lunch period. Then got to where the evening person was supposed to come in again. Didn't come in. They fucking left me hanging. Overnight management didn't come in again. Stuck there again. Come Monday, I ended up accidentally nodding off in front of the photo lab machine because it was one of their bigger ones. And it had a desk that you had to sit at and input, and you had to realign the laser and everything. Make sure the chemicals. I nodded off. Lady threw a can of Pringles at me and then went back to the pharmacy and complained that I was up front on drugs because I passed out. Pharmacist looked at him and was like, I don't know how he's on drugs since he's been here for the last 3 days and he's had no replacement. The lady who threw a can at me called the main 1-800 number.
Yeah.
Assaulted me, but also saved my life. She called the main 1-800 complaint number for CVS Pharmacy. My original area manager for CVS from Maryland was also in Florida. I will never forget this. He got word that I was stuck at a store, and the store manager hadn't been there all weekend or anything like that, comes in, sees me there, and tells me, go home. I will deal with this. Store manager comes in. Store manager has narcolepsy. Fell asleep in the office as my area manager came in. Didn't even realize it. And got lit up in the office. I mean, fireworks were going off in his office. I'm leaving. My boss comes out, gives me money for a taxi, tells me I'm not allowed to drive.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Go home. He goes, I'm going to pay you for the next 3 days. Take 72 hours off paid. I said, okay, cool. They tried to call me back and ask me why I worked all that whole time without calling anybody. And I said, everybody knew I was here. Why didn't they tell you? People above me knew I was still here. Didn't have any. And he's like, well, we need to work something out about all this overtime. I can't give you this overtime. I said, you will give me that fucking overtime.
Yeah, that's law. That's federal law.
And I lost it. I requested, after I had finished the store transition, I was like, I'm done with this transition. I want to come back to Maryland. I was like, I'm done. Come back. My fucking job was gone. They gave it to somebody else because I wasn't here. But they wouldn't make that person step down. So I said, fuck you, I quit. and then I went to nights. So yeah, no, I don't. The ability to sit at work is a benefit in its own right.
Yeah,
but
no, what I was thinking though, if you ever shop at Aldi, you have to bag your own stuff at the end. You know, they take in, the person scans it, throws it in another cart. They do the whole cart flip switch thingy, and then you take it and bag it. Something like this, I could see working at Aldi, because rather than having, because it's always one person and then there's a whole line of everybody, because they only have, every time I go, there's only one register open. So you take something like this, I can go into Aldi, I can buy the, 7-8 things if I don't need to fill up my whole cart, scan it, walk, bag it myself, since I have to do that anyway, and I'm in and out so much faster.
Absolutely. And I know they were doing trial runs with Amazon at Walgreens, doing this, or in their Amazon pop-up store, their marketplace stores. I think I know those are all on the West Coast at this time. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean,
it would definitely get rid of some jobs, but
it would absolutely get rid of jobs.
Yeah,
it would absolutely get rid of jobs. I mean, it wouldn't get rid of the jobs of those that have to go and stock, but it would definitely get rid of the whole cashier and bagging.
Do you remember? God, this must have been 10 years ago. The big stories of Amazon is going to start delivering with drones. That they're going to send.
I made the joke on the old show, late night morning show, of how people were just gonna fucking shoot them out of the sky.
Right. Yeah, that was I remember that was everywhere. Amazon is going to, they're going to have hubs that they ship to, and then
here's what's funny. So you know how Amazon bought Ring, right?
Yeah.
So, and then they bought Roomba. So now they can literally map your whole house. Amazon created a surveillance drone to monitor your house.
Commercials
now
for that. Let me see if I can find that.
So how is that not an invasion of privacy? Like, someone hacks the drone and like, oh, we're just gonna go in through and figure out if anybody's home.
Right.
And I understand why people don't want the Ring, because in the terms of service, if the police want it, they have the access to a back door to log right into your Ring camera without you giving them the information.
I think that's a violation of your Fourth Amendment.
Oh, absolutely it is. I believe that 100% that is.
I'm going to tell everybody right now. So police cannot access the passcode. They can't make you give them the passcode to your phone. Okay. However, the courts have ruled that you have no right to privacy for your fingerprint or your face, which means they can take your phone, like I have an iPhone, and hold it up to your face and access it that way. So the tip that people ask me back when I worked for the company about that is, I said, at least from the iPhone, I don't know Androids, so Android might be similar or different, is when you go to get stopped, obviously I'm a big proponent of recording interactions. I truly believe that most law enforcement are good people, but it never hurts to at least record so that you have a recording on your side of things. But if you're going to do that, like on the phone, hit the side button so that you see the screen that pops up that says slide to power off, medical ID, or emergency SOS. And then all you have to do is tap cancel, and your Face ID won't work. It makes you have to put in your passcode, but you can still access the camera.
So here's that Ring indoor flying security camera.
At Ring, we invent stuff like the Ring Video Doorbell, Ring Alarm, and so much more. But where do we go from here? Introducing Ring Always Home Cam. Yeah, it's a camera that flies.
What?
We thought, what if we made a camera that can see every angle in your home without having a camera in every room, and make it smart enough so that you can teach it where to go.
Like this?
Yep, just like that.
Cool.
So with the push of a button, it wakes up and goes here, there, or wherever you choose.
You forgot the orange slices, didn't you?
No way. Frankly, I blame the oranges.
Hey!
And the Always Home Cam works seamlessly with Ring Alarm.
Yeah, that's not good.
Actually, it's great because you can watch live from anywhere.
Well, good for you guys.
And when you're home, Always Home Cam is docked and the camera is hidden, designed with your privacy in mind. Introducing Always Home Cam, only from Ring.
You
don't
know what
know.
I could see from that? My dogs would have that thing torn apart in a matter of, because they would see it as a game of, can I catch this drone?
Right? Yeah, like, ooh. I mean, but my thing is, like, any piece of technology, there's a way for a back door.
Yeah.
How can you not say that no one can't get the back door to that, and then inappropriately spy in your home? You're thinking the drone's doing like a fucking routine, like go around the house.
It's like a surveillance guy that walks around, but rather than a surveillance guy, you have a drone that just makes the rounds.
Yeah, and that would just, I think, a terrible idea, but that's neither here nor there.
I like me and my son watched a show called on YouTube called Patty Mayo. He's a bounty hunter, and his videos, he keeps getting more and more toys as videos go on. And in the past year, he got a drone. So they drone the house before they come up to it so they can see where the exits are, where to stage people, stuff like that. And then like he'll breach a door, and rather than running in and somebody shooting him or something like that, he'll send the drone in, searching around for where the doors are and the people. Oh, it's so fun to watch.
I guess in that, it's no better than like the cops having a murder drone for their police force. Did you ever see that?
No.
Oh,
Is there
California.
a video you're gonna play?
Yeah, I want to find it. Is that we're talking about this? But
Ryan is trying to talk.
I
And
know I'm
search at
trying
the
to
same
talk
time.
and
It
type
doesn't
at the same
work.
time.
Yes, it doesn't work.
No. So, with that being said, there we go.
Of police robots that are currently being debated. They have treads and awkward-looking arms with pincher claws. Police department bomb squads often use them to defeat.
Yeah, I've seen those before for bomb squad stuff. Yeah.
Now is whether San Francisco police should ever be allowed to use one of its dozen or so similar type robots to deliver an explosive and potentially kill a suspect.
Motion carries unanimously.
Within the last few hours, the board.
So they're talking about wanting to use it to like detonate
Like
a
somebody
bomb.
that's like holding hostages or something. I'm trying to
Yes.
think of a reason they would send something in and blow someone up.
I don't know, but that would be interesting.
I don't
And as much as California is doing anti blah blah blah, I don't know.
It's San Francisco. Everything weird comes out of San Francisco, though.
It's Nancy Pelosi's district.
Yeah. Hence what I just said. Everything weird.
Speaking of weird, so
yeah, let's get
Nancy
to her.
Pelosi. We'll talk about a little bit about Nancy Pelosi because that was that's just comical in its own right. So Nancy
Pelosi, who the Catholic Church has revoked her Catholicism.
Yes. So yeah, Nancy Pelosi is reported by her daughter to the New York Post that she is had a priest come to her house and exorcise the evil demons so her and her husband can live after the hammer attack. I want you to remember that Paul Pelosi was in his underwear with another dude who was in his underwear fighting over a hammer. They wanted to call him a right-wing antagonist coming after Nancy Pelosi. But when you talk to the dude's kid, the dude was so left, like Black Lives Matter, LGBT.
And he's Canadian and overstayed his visa.
Yeah.
That was the other thing.
And he believes that he was Paul Pelosi's slave and a sex slave.
Yes.
And San Francisco has always been rumored to always be known as the queer city because that's what they're very rainbow. If you are fantastic,
but according to a comedian that I listened to, Asian chicks in San Francisco love white dudes.
Love white dudes. That's probably
so.
I would not doubt that whatsoever.
As he put it, and I'd have to agree. That's why I have to move to San Francisco. Not because I have anything in particular for Asian girls. I've just never had a step up on anything, going for me there. So,
I 100% would never go to I lived in California for like 6 months. I'll never fucking go back.
Yep.
I do want to go back for like Super Mario World at Disneyland that's there. That is the only reason I would ever go back to California. And I seriously debated that.
So hey, take yours off. I have a clip of the exorcism that they had. So there is a clip of the exorcism at Nancy Pelosi's house.
No, let me. I was trying not to stay up here and hold the rope.
Sorry, that was a clip of Poltergeist. That was my bad, honestly. I thought it was Nancy Pelosi's exorcism, but
I mean, it was pretty fucking close.
Now I need to find the clip where she says this house is clean. Where is that?
No, please, no! Get him into the water! No, I'm helping you. But get her into the water, don't worry.
It's been a long time since I've seen Poltergeist, the original one.
This house is clean.
Yeah. So thanks to Shipwreck, they have debunked it that it actually never happened. So I have her right here. We're gonna hear her and her gloriness.
Last night I made a video. Turns out there was no exorcism at the Pelosi house. The local Catholic church confirmed in the news. Her daughter lied or made it up. I don't know. Roll the clip.
Pelosi reportedly called priests to perform an exorcism of her San Francisco home after her husband Paul was attacked last year. Her daughter Alexandra told the New York Times she thinks the attack weighed heavily on her soul. She even speculated her mom felt really guilty because the suspect was reportedly looking for her during the attack. but a pastor at Pelosi's church says no services were performed on the home.
Well, her position, her radical anti-life position, should weigh more heavily on her soul. And she's, by the way, not allowed to receive communion. And
Just stupid.
I'm more confused why
Absolutely.
they showed football in there while they were talking about this.
I know, right? It is absolutely stupid that this somehow made news that we're talking about Nancy Pelosi still.
You know what she needs an exorcism from? All of the dead babies that she supported killing, coming after her, going, you know what? I died because of you. And that's where she needs an exorcism.
Yeah. I mean they want to kill babies. They want to sacrifice abortion babies.
Well, I mean, you got to sacrifice babies to the god Mullah and all that. So
I mean, Old Testament. I mean, they sacrificed their children. I mean, but I mean, that's changed since Old Testament. God was a prick.
well, God said that my son's death means no more sacrifice. That his
That's
son
exactly
was
why.
the sacrifice for the world.
No, I mean that was the entire point of that. So, so
But,
I mean,
you know, I mean, they're teaching in California, you know, some of these Mayan religions and rituals and everything like that. And, you know,
maybe they should fix the poop app for San Francisco before they fucking start going around and telling people how they should live their life. Because if you have all them homeless people shitting on the fucking street and you have to fucking have an app for it to tell you where not to like walk because someone freshly pooped there, and this is going to be a running joke for the next decade as long as they have a poop app for San Francisco. So
I wonder if we can access it online and show where the poop is.
oh, you're going to make me look it up, aren't you?
No, I'm looking it up. San Francisco poop map.
It's called Snap Crap. It is called Snap Crap.
Let me see here. Someone made an interactive.
There's an APK.
There's a Google
download.
map of it. Oh, someone made a Google map of where the poop is.
That's awesome. No, there's an actual download for Snap Crap. Yeah. I don't know if I want that on my disturbs me a little bit. It kills me a little bit inside that there's poop. So Nancy Pelosi, you are now in your 80s. Please fucking retire and go away. Go. This is why we need to have age caps. Like, hey, you get to this age, you're done. I don't care. Oh no. Ew.
Oh, that is so gross. Look at that
Ew.
map.
Is that it? Is that really?
This map
And
is
that's all
made,
downtown.
Yeah. This map is made. So here's the bay. Here's the harbor.
Oh, whatever that section is, top straight
right
in the
up
middle,
here.
top north. That
Right
right
here.
there. Oh, that's just
What is that?
Oh,
Gary
that's-
Street and Hyde
that looks like
Street
it's just a
and-
giant toilet.
That's what it does. Look at that. Let me zoom out a little bit. Doesn't
No,
let me.
please don't. Because then it's gonna look like one giant wad. Oh. Yeah, see? Giant wad. Oh my
They
god.
actually have the poop emojis.
Oh god.
Just zoom right into this little area right here. Look at that. So evidently, don't walk down, what is that, Julia Street?
Yeah. I
Don't walk
guess.
down Julia Street. You cannot miss stepping in poop.
You will step in poop. That is the San Francisco is for poop. Like
Wow.
Virginia is for lovers. San Francisco is for poop. Yeah. Yes, this is gonna be a running joke for us now.
Well, next week we'll have to check the poop map, see what the
No,
poop
we are
forecast
not-
is.
No, we'll do that. We'll do that as a once a month thing. So speaking of California, Adam Schiff has finally got himself competition for his seat in the
yeah,
House.
Corey.
Adam Schiff is also looking about sidelining to the Senate for the
Yep.
rumors. But I don't think he realizes who his actual opponent is going to become. And I'm actually for this.
So supposedly Schiff is going for Feinstein's seat, although
Yep.
she has not made any formal announcement that she is vacating it. I guess the rumors are
He
there.
needs to
and-
get to the Senate so fucking Schumer can cover his ass because Pelosi ain't going to be there much longer.
But the person running is Ben Savage, Mr. Corey Matthews himself, married to Topanga in Boy Meets World. He's a Democrat running for Adam Schiff's seat in Burbank.
I mean, like, generally, he may have the Democratic nomination, but Ben Savage is, compared to his brother Fred, he's the more level-headed of the two Savages. Speaking wise,
I don't know. The thing is you hear all of these stories and stuff come out about Fred Savage. It might be that Ben Savage is very similar. He's just better at covering it up.
I mean, he's probably watching how his brother's acting and fucking realizing what to do differently
Like,
to not get
Okay,
caught.
whatever my brother does, I don't do.
Right? Yeah. But I've noticed Ben Savage has not. I haven't seen it yet. Ben Savage has not made an appearance on that Pod Meets World, where
No, he has
it's-
not. They've mentioned it quite a few times that he probably won't. And they say it's because he's busy doing other stuff.
I give like what the characters Topanga, Sean, and Eric.
Eric, yeah.
The three actors, they're actually coming out about how everything went and their experiences from when they were children to now that they're adults. I think is one of the coolest. And and the thing is, it talks to everybody, all those that were big fans of Boy Meets World, and then dropping into Girl.
Well,
See-
my son, who's 11, never watched Boy Meets World. I tried to get him for years to watch it, and he wouldn't. And we were on a car ride, and I was listening to Pod Meets World, and I had like 3 or 4 episodes back to back that I hadn't listened to, and he did not want me to change. And then we get home, and he's like, "Can I watch Boy Meets World?" So we started watching it. We couldn't watch at the slow rate though that they're putting out the podcast, so we're on and we just watch it in the mornings before school. But
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you'd probably finish like their whole series of Boy Meets World before you catch up to the podcast, which is fine. But Girl Meets World, I thought was very interesting, especially seeing Corey and Topanga in the parent role now,
yes,
and their daughter is now playing like the Corey role from when he was the child.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, it's basically the kids all have the same roles. The parents still have the same roles. The
Yeah.
difference is who the parents are and the kids.
And then they brought Shaw. They brought the guy who played Shaw, and they brought him back. And you still see that the three of them have the same were when they were with Boy Meets
Right.
World going. What's great is they have all that footage from Boy Meets World to do those flashbacks with
Yes.
and to create the stories with. I thought that was
Well, and it was because Boy Meets World was on ABC, and then ABC got bought out by Disney. So when Disney made Girl Meets World, they had the licenses already to everything from Boy Meets World.
yeah. So I mean,
So they could do
works.
that stuff. No, I think it was great. You know, I still tell everyone that Boy Meets World, I think, messed up a lot of us guys on like what we want our future wives to be or what we want our wives to be. Because
No. So
I-
it was just our generation because we were born early 80s. So we were children of the 80s. We were teenagers of the 90s.
Yes.
We had Amy Jo Johnson, Pink Ranger from the Power Rangers.
Oh, yes.
We had Topanga.
Yep.
We had Kelly Kapowski.
Alex Mack.
Alex Mack. Fucking there was Hollywood popped out all the new teenage stars of that era were just different. And I was watching a thing about they were doing the generations of time frame. I've always claimed Generation X because granted I was born in 83. I don't fucking think I'm a millennial at all.
Me and you are the first generation of millennials. Are the
Yes.
first year of the millennials.
Or the subtext Zennial, where
Zennials,
we're
they call us.
X,
Yes.
X and millennial as one. I look at that as like we were being raised by boomers
Right.
or early Gen X's versus anything. So going in and you see these, oh my God, I swear to God, I'm gonna kick a Gen Zer in the face one of these days. Because you see like my wife and I, we were like the new generation alpha, like our kids right now,
Yep.
are gonna have either they're gonna be useless or they're gonna be raised by those that were raised by Gen Xers that don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we have fucking say boomers in office situations right now that need to get the fuck out.
Right.
We want to make a comment. Look at Joe Biden right now. Fucking, he's making $400,000 a year in the largest nursing home at this moment.
Right.
He's 80 years old and in the White House. He couldn't get in the White House in the 80s and in the 90s
And in the early 2000s.
because he plagiarized himself. He lied about his academic career and they scolded him for it.
Don't forget, he also ran in 2008 against Barack Obama in the
he got fucking asinine for that. That's how he ended up VP. And then I believe they gave it to him. Like the behind the scenes people were like, give it to him,
right,
because he's an idiot.
We can control
Because
him.
they can't because if they get rid of you, that means this idiot's going to be in charge, and nobody wants that. So it's like a George Bush and Quayle situation. You know what?
God, yes.
we have this, but if we get rid of this, we got that, and nobody wants that. And it's like right now, we have Biden and Harris. Problem is I think they're working on actually now getting rid of Biden, because now what they found a sixth location at his other house in Wilmington,
what was
Delaware.
It, Friday they searched his
Saturday.
house. Saturday, sorry. They searched his actual house, and they found more documents, and you know, Biden's playing it off like, well, you know, I just like to collect these. And it's like, dude, less than a year ago.
He said that like I was unaware. These just got mislabeled and moved. And I'm like,
well, no, he did that initially.
Yeah.
Now he's just like, well, you know, I walk out with stuff, I collect, I forget I have them.
But the problem is that everyone wants like, oh, well, he did this. He has the ability to declassify. Vice presidents have the ability to declassify only objects that he classified himself.
Right.
So the problem
the
is
only
that
person that has carte blanche
the absolute
authority
power
to declassify is the president.
Correct. So when he was vice president, he took these. How is this worse than Trump? Way much worse. He actually never went through the National Archives. The National Archives was unaware Biden even had these documents. 1. 2, they didn't even know they were missing.
Right.
So my question is like, they didn't even know they were missing. They knew what Trump had. And,
right. And where
as
they
the
were.
litigation was going through, they knew where they were. They knew what door they were behind. They knew where the locked door was. All that. But the thing is, like, you're finding shit in the Penn Center and his other one house that Hunter was renting
in the garage where
$50,000 a month in the garage and in his office and then in his other house. And it's like, and then the email came out like from Hunter's laptop where he was trying to make that giant deal with China for natural gas.
Yeah.
Even though he said that Biden said flat out, I don't get meddle into my son's business affairs. That was fucking as hands-on as you could get.
Right.
While you were vice president.
Let me play this, and while I'm doing that, bring up that email because that's actually something important.
News just into our newsroom 6 minutes ago. A lawyer for President Biden says the FBI searched the president's Delaware home and discovered more classified documents. Correspondent Tom Dempsey live for us in Washington with this breaking story. Tom, what do we know now?
Hey, Natasha. Yeah, this just came into our newsroom, and we know this search happened with Department of Justice agents just yesterday inside President Joe Biden's home in Delaware. We know this search lasted 13 hours in total, and agents were able to find 6 additional documents with classified markings on them. These documents date back to the president's time as a senator, as well as his time as vice president, also connected to this search.
So it's not even him as vice president saying I can declassify stuff because I classified them. It was when he was a senator and he had no authority whatsoever to declassify.
Correct.
So we know that agents also took away some notes found inside the Delaware home, some from his time as vice president. But again, the lawyer for the president releasing a statement on all this saying that they are continuing to cooperate with the Department of Justice and special counsel because, Natasha, you know, this This comes shortly after the Department of Justice, announced this special counsel investigation. Obviously, we learned about that earlier this month. Two things with this, though. Of course, there's a legal standpoint to it all and a political standpoint. On the legal aspect of this search happening, this just shows this investigation really increasing against the president right now. Again, we know about this search happening inside his Delaware home on Friday. It lasted 13 hours.
And then you have this tool everyone knows from TikTok trying to defend him. And
oh God,
huge, massive breaking news. This has searched President Biden's house and they found more classified documents there. But again, this story is just not that big of a deal. And it actually shows that the president are very confident that he didn't commit any crimes. In fact, President Biden offered up his house to the DOJ to be searched. Biden said, offer up the DOJ access to the house. I'm fully cooperative. I want to make sure that they have the information that they need. And as I said, this just shows that Biden's lawyers are confident that he didn't commit any crimes, because if they thought he did, they would never just openly offer up the house to be searched. They would make sure that the DOJ got a warrant. And the fact that the DOJ didn't want a warrant to search Biden's house shows that they also don't think that he committed a crime. So obviously finding more classified documents is not great, but it's still pretty clear that Biden didn't break any laws.
that's the same tool that we played on here a couple months ago, talking about Trump having classified documents and calling him a criminal and saying he needs to be locked up.
Yeah. When you talk about him being a fucking tool, he's a fucking tool. But I have hold on. I had a rebuttal because there's a gentleman who actually rebutted that. So you can try to get it as we talk. If my fingers would work, that'd be great.
They're great.
I know. So we'll go with the tool again, because why the fuck not? He makes absolutely no sense. But the rebuttal from Mr. 2 Cent here is great.
He didn't need a search warrant because, one, there's no evidence of a crime, and two, as I said, Biden is cooperating.
I'm officially done with you. There's no possible way you are this obtuse. Having classified data is a crime. Let's go after your other point, that Biden is cooperating, Trump wasn't, and then according to you, Biden looks innocent, and therefore Trump looks guilty. Thank God for an actual justice system where incredibly intelligent people like you can't say looks innocent and he looks guilty, therefore guilty. Let's talk about what cooperating is and whether or not that means there was no crime. Trump was working with the archives. They had him lock up the documents. Then they went and got a warrant and came back and took them. Up until this most recent search with the FBI, Biden's lawyers were given carte blanche to search whatever they wanted with no oversight. It's almost, and I mean almost, like cooperating does not determine guilt or innocence.
He didn't need a search warrant because, one, there's no evidence.
No, he's not wrong.
Right. No, that's right.
And here's up. And again, Mr. Tool with rebuttal.
Oh, he's got a rebuttal to the rebuttal.
DOJ and President Biden's lawyers are very confident that he didn't commit any crimes.
Now listen, Harry, I know that I only have 20 years of experience in the classified realm, and you just heard about classification about a week ago. But I don't know how to make this any more simple, so I'm going to try it very slowly. In order to give back classified documents, that means you have to be in possession of classified documents. And this is the tricky part. Having classified documents is illegal. And you may be saying, hey, you got a Corvette, you got a garage. If you had documentation here, you'd be good to go. But Harry, I know you've never been wrong, but you would be wrong in that instance, because for everyone else, it's illegal. But go ahead and keep on telling everybody it's no big deal.
And it actually shows that.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, I mean,
no,
that's the thing.
not at all. He is not wrong at all.
Again, these are the same people that wanted to tar and feather Trump because he had classified documents that he claims he declassified and put in a locked closet in his office in what is essentially a fortress at Mar-a-Lago. And Biden has them. We've got some in his house, in his office, some in in a box where his son is doing blow with his friends.
And the thing is, like, the National Archives and the FBI knew where those documents were and actually inspected the office and told the Secret Service, because I remember reading this article and we had this conversation about the article of, hey, that is not the correct lock you need on this door. Please get this lock. Please put and install this on this door. And they did it that day.
Right.
So you cannot tell me them going after through the FBI. It's just, if they don't persecute Biden, fucking Trump's lawyers are gonna have a 100% field day with this.
Yep. And
it'll be fantastic. So we go back to the email, because we brought up the email of, hey, dear Jim and Hunter. That Jim is Joe Biden's brother. I have confirmed your contact with Khmer Gas Sale and Chad Whitesale, located in the Houston office. His email is blah. I confirm I've requested him to be available for a call from Joe Biden and Hunter Biden on Monday morning to discuss the purchase of 5 million tons of gas.
Sincerely, Robert W.
Bennett.
So
we gotta
meet the press. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, why not? Let's see what they have to say.
Do you have a crime that you think Hunter Biden committed? Because I've yet to see anybody explain it is not a crime to make money off your last name.
So, Chuck, you ought to read the Marco Polo report, where they detail all kinds of potential crimes. You know, Senator Grassley,
let me just stop you there. Potential.
About
potential is innuendo.
$30,000.
Investigation.
He fucking just like cut him off.
Oh my God.
Didn't even let him finish. I mean, there's still more to it, because that was only 30 seconds of the minute. Let's see what else, if they go into more. No. So
even if it wasn't an actual crime, the fact is Joe Biden was in the hands of the Chinese, is in the hands of the Chinese, and he flat out on the campaign trail and after said he had no dealings with his son.
My thing is that they fucking ridiculed people for less. I mean, hell, look at Russiagate. Like, they thought during Trump's whole campaign Russia was taking over the election, but they couldn't prove it, and it was proven that it didn't. It was actually coming from the DNC,
right?
So it's like you had Pizzagate with Joe Biden, Obama, and everything, trying to not allow Trump to win, and it backfired. And then all of a sudden, the blip in the matrix happened again.
Yep.
And everyone that I thought, like, I considered like we could conversate about shit like this, it was very truly tested in the 4 years of Trump, because it's like you're calling out shit that isn't real.
Yeah, I had a lot of people that I considered friends that I don't consider friends anymore.
I don't know how many times, like, hell,
because
I'll be on Facebook.
They would attack me personally.
And this is the main reason why we do this show, is to have that conversation, to build the conversation and all. if you want to come and tell me your side and it's completely different from mine, I would be more than happy to have you on and have that conversation.
Right.
So contacts always is in the show notes. So either you email us, call us, leave a message. If you want to come on, I'll have you on and we can have that talk. And please don't come with feelings, come with your facts.
So tell me why Atlanta is burning again.
Oh, let me pull that up. There was a protest.
Of course, a leftist protest. According to Fox News, Atlanta police arrest at least 6 people after a quote unquote peaceful protest Saturday. Let's see here. After it erupted into a night of chaos and violence that included protesters smashing windows and setting a police vehicle on fire.
That's always a good. Let's see what.
But January 6th. January 6th, you guys are terrorists.
In November of 2022.
Oh, I gotta love ads.
Yeah, it did that to me too.
The cryptocurrency exchange FTX.
So while that's loading up,
shooting off fireworks in the building.
shooting off fire. Well, man, look at the glass is all spidered out, rocks. This is someone with their phone. That was just at one of the towers, it looks like there.
Yeah, it looks like a hotel or something.
But
so I'm looking through this. What was the protest originally supposed to be about?
so it was protesters called violence after police shooting, leaving one dead and an officer injured.
So police have to do police stuff, therefore we got to riot and burn shit down.
Yeah, so Friday, they even announced it on Twitter. It got out before Twitter could take it out, so God knows how many people saw it. The account claims in part of Defense Atlanta Forest, with multiple groups protesting the area to construct a new Atlanta Police Safety Training Center. So they want to stop the cops from training.
And according to this, police officer, at least one was shot by a protester. On Saturday, Brian Kemp spoke out against the riot, saying violence of any kind will not be tolerated. While the state continues to respect peaceful protests, acts of violence against person or property will not be tolerated. And then we have photos of the burned out police car, police in riot gear.
I mean, I'm all for peaceful protest. The minute you start using rocks and smashing shit and lighting shit on fire up, and then firing at the cops, that's no longer a protest. That is just
right
fucking be going wrong.
That's
in
again
every which
why
way.
we say January 6th wasn't an insurrection. It was a
riot.
Riot. No different
It was a
than
riot.
these. And those people that broke in and did all that stuff, attacked police. Knows.
The thing is, with January 6th, none of the people who broke in were carrying weapons or anything like that. They were just they were let in. They were walked in by the police, like, because how they opened the doors. But Should they have done it? Should they have gone in? Absolutely not.
No.
They should have stayed outside the house and made their voices heard. And that's what they were doing. They were making their... And then you had people out there saying, hey, we need to go in. We need to... But that's not how you fix. I 100% say if no one had gone in, the House and Senate would have been forced to listen to all the objections.
Right.
The House Democrats needed January 6th to happen simply so they can
point to something, because without January 6th, there's nothing they can point to. We have all this footage. We're looking at another one from CNN. We're looking at footage from the riots, and there's that police car being burned. You know, we have all of this that we can point to and say, don't claim that you're not violent. We see the violence in you.
I mean, look at
how
all the
Antifa
BLM
is
riots
violent.
in
Yeah.
Kenosha and Detroit. Oh, CNN will do peaceful protests. Like, oh, there's nothing but peaceful, with a building on fire right behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
Or they say mostly
that's
peaceful.
fucking peaceful.
Right. You know, and they needed January 6th because that's the only example. It lasted 3 hours. There were some people beaten, as they get off there. There was windows broken, there was stuff broken, but nobody was killed. Nothing was set on fire. This right now we're looking at is Atlanta. There's a Hard Rock Cafe. There's the Hooters. There's Wells Fargo. People trying to smash and get money from the ATMs. People smashing into into department stores. I mean, anybody that says that BLM or Antifa are not violent, they're not organized, any of that can lick my balls.
No, I 100% agree. All right, so let's move over to a weird situation. So I am a hockey fan. I'm a hockey fan through and through. I'm a Washington Capitals fan. I respect the clubs of hockey. Every city that has a hockey club, the game is, the saying is, fight broke out and a hockey game was the result of it.
Right.
So when I played, I was a bruiser. I was the instigator for a fight. I was the guy that had no problem hitting my opponent to allow another man to go through. My thing was, so back on the 20th, was it the 18th, sorry. Philadelphia Flyers, Ivan Provorov did not participate in the team's LGBTQ Pride Night. Basically, they put all the Flyers jerseys with the Pride flag on it.
That would be the rainbow flag for...
Correct. That'd be the rainbow flag. He chose, based on his religious purposes, he was not going to do it.
I wouldn't even need religious purposes. I would just say, no, I'm not putting this.
Well, I mean, he asked why, and he just, and you know what? I 100% respect it. Even if he said, no, I'm not doing that. All the LGBTQ, like all the nuanced ones, they came for him. They were all upset.
Oh, yeah. They were on him so quickly.
You do realize, like, a lot of the older ones, like the early millennial ones, they're like, good for you. No, we don't need that. That's not That's not what we need. To the point to where the head coach and the owner all came out and in support of the player, saying that we respect him. That there's not he sat out for a warm up. He wasn't going. That's fine. He sat out for a warm up. Whatever.
Yeah.
They wanted to cancel him, but that fucking backfired because hockey people, they will get behind somebody.
It's kind of like NASCAR when they try to cancel somebody from NASCAR.
They sold out of his jersey on every jersey creator for his number, to the point to where it's on back order. I was like, that was fantastic. I'm only making this a point because the problem is that it should not ever be a question of like, just because you don't do it doesn't mean you should be canceled. I love TikTok, and I'm going to play this. Guy who's going to make a little stitch on it. His name is Conservative Ant. If you haven't followed his TikTok yet, he's one of those guys. I think he is really making it. He's making social media his thing, and he's found his niche. And
I respect everybody. I respect everybody's choices. My choice is to stay true to myself.
Stop forcing people to do this. Stop. He doesn't want to wear that flag on his jersey because he doesn't want to. He doesn't believe in it. He supports you, though. See, this is what's wrong with the community. This is why I don't want to be part of that community. I don't even want to wear that flag. Me, I don't even want to. I never wanted to. I never did. Okay, stop. I thought y'all didn't like culty shit. Isn't that culty to make people wear something that you believe in and they don't? Like, why can't he just play hockey? What's the problem? Y'all are embarrassing.
I respect everybody.
Absolutely. I mean, he's not wrong at all.
That's why I said it doesn't even have to be a religious reason. It just has to be, no, I don't agree with them. I don't agree with the flag. You know, you do you. I'm not going to stop you. It's the whole thing of where we're Christians. We say we hate the sin, but we love the sinner. I can still love you and not agree with the choices that you are making.
So I want to make this make sense, because that happened on the 18th. And then an activist group, a gay couple, charged with molesting their adopted children, and then pimped them out to their friends. So not only are they gay, which I care less,
They're pedophiles.
then they turn that into being their now pedophile pimps.
Yes. And human trafficking.
And now starting to try, and it's like, I think, but it's, it hit the New York Times or New York Post and everything, and they put it out. My thing is, you'll never hear that anywhere. They will never talk about.
No, because what they claim, and I understand, just like any group, there's going to be fringe outliers that, are bad, criminal, stuff like that. You get that with the police, the Boy Scouts, the church, and in the gay community. I know a lot of gay people. I would have no problem if I needed someone, if I needed them to babysit my son, I would trust them just like I would trust you. But the issue here where I think you're having is that if that was, say, a priest, if that was, say, a teacher, and we know that that's happened with priests, we know that similar things have happened with teachers, it would be all over every news outlet. But because the LGBTQIA / ampersand is protected by entertainment and media and leftist politics, because really all three of them are leftists.
Oh, yeah.
And they thrive on identity politics. If it wasn't for identity politics, they would have no platform anywhere. So they have to not let that out, because to them, it's a non-issue. It's just two guys that are pedophiles, and it's a non-issue. And working in news, I know that that's the hypocrisy of how a lot of news people, journalists, editors, all that think is, they still believe themselves to be the gatekeepers of information. And when they see something like that, they go, well, that doesn't affect me, or I don't agree with that. This is newsworthy. Therefore, it doesn't need to go out. But as a New York Post, and like we're talking about it, it is newsworthy to a lot of people.
You really think about it. So my key thing here is Ghislaine Maxwell is now also saying that the photo of her and Prince Andrew was doctored and it never happened. One, she was charged for child trafficking and grooming and everything like that, but the list of all the clients is sealed.
Right.
I will never rest until that thing is unsealed. I will never stop talking about it. Even everyone's I talk to, they're like, well, she's getting her just dessert and Epstein is dead. No.
But she's not the only one. It was all the people that participated in it.
That's the thing. It's like, it's not just a United States problem. This is a world problem. Thing
Right.
is, human trafficking is the one of the largest corporations in the world. It is.
I think I read a few years ago that worldwide there are more slaves now, primarily in human trafficking and sex stuff, than there ever was in history, even during the Black South slavery.
Between
in the US.
what, Africa, Middle East, India, China,
Mexico,
South America.
Yep.
Like
United States, I'm sorry, is still huge in it. Unfortunately, it's
just
huge.
It's incorporated differently.
It's a huge money maker, especially since the money making from drugs is going down.
Yeah. So if you disagree with the flyer not wearing the flag, but you're okay with the parents, you really need to really look at yourself inside, because
I don't know if there's anybody that with any conscience that would agree with the parents. I think what it comes down to is the news doesn't want to cover that because it doesn't fit their narrative.
it'll never fit their narrative. All right. So now that I got that out of the way, I know Jason didn't even want me to, that's why I didn't even put up the post of it on here, because that was just, as parents, I think that video, the article itself is just aggravating. So Jason,
there's another one though that's very similar that I just read about, that there was a girl 14 years old that ran away, I want to say Virginia or something like that, and she was found because she was talking to some guy that she thought was her age, online how the story goes, but he was like
Yeah.
30 some, and they found him and her in Baltimore, and she was being pimped out by him. And she had like, months of horror basically.
Oh yeah.
The Maryland prosecutor, whatever, and a judge refused to give her back to her grandparents, who are her adopted parents after her parents died, because she claims to be transgendered. She claims to be a he, even though she was used as a she by all of these pedophiles. So the Baltimore attorney, prosecutor, and judge put her into essentially not a foster home, but one of them big foster homes, for a bunch of kids. She ended up running away again, and they found her in Texas being pimped out again. At least in Texas, they sent her back. Now, this is where the problem comes. Just because the reasoning that they said that she couldn't go back to her grandparents is because they considered it abuse to not view her as a him. And because of that, they put her through even more abuse and sex trafficking.
Just remember, 1,000 years from now, when the next generation of fucking people look at our fucking skeletal remains, they're not going to look to whether if you are he or she by how you look. Technically by how you actually look. That's it. They're gonna misgender everybody. If you were a he and then turned into a she, in your skeleton remains, you're gonna look like a he. So
you can't change biology just because that's the reason they called it dysphoria.
I like when they claim, was it that we don't trust the science when it came to the COVID vaccine, but yet you guys can't trust the science and biology of 100+ years of male versus female.
Well, we're talking millions of
millions of years.
Thousands of years, not millions.
Sure. No, I mean,
the human race is roughly 60,000
yeah.
years,
So yeah,
something like
you
that.
tell me to trust the science about vaccine. You trust biology. We'll go from there. Speaking of biology,
are we talking about Schmeagol?
Schmeagol. I'll let you go. I'll let you run with this one.
This is this has been all over social media.
Her face. I don't.
Tennessee cops, including married female officer, fired after repeated wild sex romps. So this in a small town in Tennessee, basically there's been allegations of sexual misconduct after a married female officer allegedly had sex with 6 male officers, off duty and on duty. I guess in some of the stuff I was reading, they were even having like sex parties
Orgies
with her, where she was the hors d'oeuvres. So, and you look at this woman. Okay, so there's 2 parts here, or 3 parts here. 1, yeah, every one of them should get fired. 2, men are men. Men are horny. Men will basically stick it into anyone that offers. That being the case, tell me she doesn't look like Schmeagol from The Lord of the Rings.
I mean,
you got it up? Yeah.
Yeah. She's right there.
Yeah. She looks like Schmeagol.
I like this little excerpt right here. One of the when asked to tip Magdalene admitted to having sex with numerous occasions. The report said that he told investigators that Hall had him and Powell's big black dick and claimed she had performed a sex act on him while the pair were on the clock.
Always going after that big black dick, that tiny little white girl. No, I'm just saying she looks like Schmeagol.
There he is.
Yeah.
There's another one.
He's a canine officer too. Ooh. Now it makes me wonder about the sex act. And there's a dog.
And the thing is, like, her husband's also an officer, and he is standing right by his wife.
Yeah, that would be one that at that point, like, I wouldn't be standing by her. Like, there would be nothing. I wouldn't even be able to be in that same city as her. Like, oh, you're staying? I'm moving as far away as I fucking can from you.
Yeah, that was about it.
Like, if they want to talk to me, we'll talk on Zoom. I will Zoom into any court cases because I am leaving your ass right now. I am packing up. I will live in a fucking tent in the middle of nowhere if I have to.
That's about it.
So, all right. Let's get to some videos. So I already played that. Did I play that? Oh, this is a video of Schmeagol. Hey, I forgot about that.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
I'll play this. It's only 25 seconds.
This is former police officer Megan Hall, who was eager to show up to the job every day and grinded herself from the bottom to the top. And her husband, who supported her through long and hard days when she would come home sore and exhausted. An outstanding example of a young woman on the force.
So many innuendos there.
Sure.
I mean, she definitely came home exhausted and sore. Maybe she needed an ice bath or some ice. Little Bengay.
Am I the asshole here? Let's see what you guys think. While driving into work today, I had my cruise control set at 72 miles per hour. The speed limit is 70. I was in the middle lane, and I'm just kind of clocking along, and it's lightly raining out. It is not icy. It is 38 degrees outside, so it's not like hazardous conditions or anything like that. With that being said, I see a Dodge Challenger ahead of me on my right with his hazards on, and he's going much. So he pretty much cuts me off and just barely gives me enough room to slow down. And the cars behind me start honking and flashing their lights because they almost rear-ended me. So this Dodge Challenger with Nevada plates with his hazards on is pretty much just coasting down in front of me. And the cars behind me are honking, flashing lights, and whipping around me into the left lane, not really giving me a chance to get over. And there's semis passing on the right. Clearly, this guy is impeding the flow of traffic. It's going to cause an accident that I don't want to be a part of. So I'm trying to get over on the left. I'm trying to get over to the right. I have my hazards on now. So I start honking and flashing my lights as well. So after about a minute and doing 40 miles per hour in the middle lane, I see my chance and take it, and I start passing on the right. What does this guy do? Oh, he starts speeding up too. At this point, I'm kind of like, whatever, dude, I don't care. I'm no longer behind you, and I don't have to worry about getting in a car accident. So I'll just stay in the right lane. The guy in the Challenger is matching my speed and just riding along the side of me, honking his horn and looking over and throwing a fit in his car. I'm just ignoring him, kind of laughing to myself. And now there's a semi coming up ahead of me. So I have to start slowing down. Oh, he starts slowing down as well, too. Whatever, I don't care. He can have his little temper tantrum and throw a fit in his car. I really don't give a shit. Suddenly, he falls back behind me and starts tailgating me, flashing his lights and honking his horn. So now I'm assuming this guy wants me to brake check him or something, which I'm not going to do, but I do let off the gas and I start coasting down as well. He fell back a little bit, so I started speeding up to get in the middle lane to pass the semi-truck. Well, I'm in a Ford Maverick with a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine that's a hybrid, and he's in a Dodge Challenger. So he He starts speeding back up to kind of cut me off from getting over in the middle lane. I did get over to the middle lane. Now he's tailgating me, and I had my cruise control set at 70, but another semi-truck gets ahead of me, so I start slowing down again. So now he gets over to the far left lane, passes me, and tries to eke into the spot between me and the semi-truck, which I just get right over behind another semi-truck in the far right lane, which is passing the semi-truck in the middle lane. While passing the semi-truck that was in the middle lane, my GPS says that police are reported ahead. I get to the front of the semi-truck, and I realize he got stuck behind another driver in the far left lane, so I get in the middle lane. Well, he got right back behind me and started doing the same exact shit with his hazards going. He started flashing his lights and honking his horn, and I set my cruise control to 65. I signaled like I wanted to get over, and he whips over to that lane and starts speeding up. I speed up to 70. He goes probably 90 and gets pulled over by the cops.
Not the asshole.
You are not the asshole. And the driver and the Challenger was the asshole.
Yes. Yes, you are definitely not the asshole. That was a really
My
long
question is,
story.
like, usually when people are like flashing their lights and signaling, usually there's something wrong. Like,
yeah, that's what I kept thinking. Like, was there like a dead body in the back seat that he was trying to tell him about? A killer about to kill him?
yeah,
Like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find. I don't know. The cops can take care of that. All right, next one.
Next one.
The Americans took shotguns into World War I's because we're goddamn Americans. We knew what shotguns could do in the trenches, and goddamn they did it well. Did you know, however, the Germans actually had the temerity in September of 1917 to lodge a formal protest? I do believe I just got so overcome by the awesomeness of the shotgun that I said 1917 instead of saying September 1918, saying that this Winchester 97 was a violation of the Hague Conventions and the civilized rules of war. Well, civilized maybe, rules of war, I don't think so. The US government took a look at this and said, you know what? Aren't you the bastards that came up with the idea of flamethrowers? Didn't you fuckers invent poison gas and start using it too? You know what? We're not going to stop using shotguns. And if you execute any Americans for having shotguns, we're going to execute all our German prisoners too. So how do you fucking like that? Guess what? 6 weeks later, the war was over. That's how they liked it.
I like that story. This actually reminded me because I just saw it today. Alec Baldwin is being charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter.
Correct.
So that'll be fun to watch.
All right. So
last one.
Last one.
Last one.
I'm a Brit in the USA. I've been here for 3 months now, and I thought I'd share a list of things that I thought were entirely unhinged when I first arrived that now actually I couldn't live without. First up, the garbage disposal in the sink. When I first got here, I thought these were terrifying, set mine off several times looking for the light switch in the middle of the night, which wasn't very fun. But now it seems entirely barbaric that we just put our food waste directly into a bin. Turning right on a red light. Terrifying as a pedestrian. Still haven't quite figured out the rules, but I don't think the rest of the country has either. As a driver, this is brilliant. 10 out of 10, big fan. Being able to purchase pretty much anything your heart desires in a pharmacy, including many things that are detrimental to your health, such as alcohol, frozen pizza, ice cream, any snack you could think of, energy drinks, and tobacco products. I still think this one's grossly irresponsible, but it has helped me out on occasion, and I'm on board with it now. Grid systems in major cities. Thought these were incredibly boring when I first got here, but actually they're just super efficient. One of the more widely known differences between the UK and the USA, anyway, plugs in the bathroom. Getting ready will never be the same. And finally, why aren't we eating s'mores?
Yes.
Why aren't we eating s'mores? When I first got
What
here,
kind
I
of s'mores?
a sandwich between sugar. Only America would do that. And then I tried one. These brilliant invention, 100 points to the USA.
So my garbage disposal got clogged, like something got in there and wedged itself between the rotating part and the side that I can't get out. So I don't want to take it apart. I've just been living without a garbage disposal. I never had a garbage disposal till I moved into this house. And then I had one and I loved it. And now that I don't have one, I'm like, oh, I got to throw this stuff in the garbage and it's going to stink.
Yep. All right. So I believe that is it for the night.
Yep.
So,
all right. See you next
What?
week when we
you
have
next week.
Shipwreck on.
That's right.
All right. Take care.
This is Fire Talk Radio Podcast, and you can check us out on firetalkradio.com. You can email us at firetalknetwork@gmail.com. You can send us a voicemail at 814-380-9820. You can always check us out live on YouTube and Rumble. Hit the like and subscribe button to find out when we go live, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting and streaming platform.